Hi everyone, I'm Ben and
I'm Darren.
and welcome to day 5 of Saw Week. Can you believe Saw Week's nearly over? Well, today we're here to discuss why we think Saw 2 is the best of the current 6 Saw films, and why Saw 4 is our least favourite. It's terrible, it's terrible. Tomorrow's video, I'll tell you now, is going to be our predictions of what will happen in Saw 3D. If for some reason you get to see Saw 3D, don't comment on the video saying, you were wrong, blah blah blah, because we don't want to be spoiled going into it. I did mention in another one of my videos that my local cinema listed the film as being out tomorrow, on Wednesday, but it
was a cock-up.
It was a cock-up, and it is being shown on Thursday, so Saw Week will still end on Thursday. But yes, tomorrow's video is predictions for Saw 3D. But now, Saw 2 and 4, best and worst. So, Darren, let's start with Saw 4 as the worst, actually. Let's do the worst first. Let's get it over and done with. I'll let you start. You have as much hatred for this film as me, if not more.
Well, I would say more, since this was the first 18 rated film I saw at the cinema. And it would have been funner if I had a knife stuck in my ballsack. It was terrible in every single way. It was... Well, I can't say anymore, right? Why was Briggs getting tested?
Yeah, being addicted to being a cop and helping people. Couldn't let go from helping people. What?
What a dick, you know? Yeah, for reverse bear trap. He's obviously ruined his life. Then you've got Donnie Wahlberg, who's
tortured. It is torture.
All the way through a film, which, let's be honest, he's my favourite character.
What about just to get his head smashed by 2 ice spots?
Our favourite character, not including the big three.
Yeah.
Our favourite character, who was introduced in the second one, but we're going to get into why we love that so much. But fourth one, his death for 90 minutes.
Tragic.
It's tragic.
And what annoyed me as well with his death is if Rig had have just taken one more second, if he'd have just got tied his shoelace, I'd just go, oh. Then it would have saved him. If it had been 5 minutes, then maybe fine, but 1 second, really.
So, how was Eric Matthews supposed to outlive that trap? Was he supposed to get a headshot, make sure Riggs falls backwards? I mean, what the hell?
It was bad, and other problems I had with this film. Even though the opening trap came in, I think, number 10 on our top 10 Saw traps, it didn't have a tape. It didn't explain why Art and the other guy were in the trap, and I was just kind of like, what? Opening it without
why was
tape?
Art in another trap?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it did have some good flashbacks of like Jill losing the baby and Jigsaw testing Cecil in the knife chair and coming up with the idea for the rib cage, and I think you see the glass box from 5 in it as well. But it had a lot of counteracting bad points. I mean, I love Darren Bousman as a director, but 4 was its worst effort. I mean, Saw 2 and 3, he was a genius on, but it was too choppy and fast, this one.
You could tell he was just doing Saw 4 so he could do Repo, Genetti off.
And there was a lot of transition shots, which, don't get me wrong, they're cool, but overused. It runs a big risk of just being like,
Plus, I didn't really care about the characters whatsoever.
Yeah, a lot of the traps as well were... I mean, some of the traps were good, like the hair pull one and Ivan and getting in the bed, but you just don't feel for the characters in them.
No.
And I'm just trying to think of other reasons why I don't like this film. It's just a poor entry of mine. I mean, for me, I kind of saw Hoffman being the apprentice coming. I found that, he pocketed the evidence in 3, and he was just a dark, brooding character. I just thought it was very obvious. Mark Berg ruined the time twist, so that was like, and it was just, it lacked.
Ooh, so we forgot about this as well. Jeff getting killed off in Saw 4. How did he die, Ben? Did he die heroically?
Me and Darren have read the original draft that Patrick and Marcus wrote, and it wasn't too bad. It was better. It's actually better than what was on screen, and we would have liked to have seen Saw 4 be Jeff's game to save his daughter.
Plus, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it's Eric Matthews' ex-wife who's hanging there.
And Eric was the hero.
Yeah, he was basically taking over Riggs' spot.
And I think Jeff was in the blender trap, wasn't he?
I'm not sure, it might have been.
I know the blender trap was involved, but Yeah, killing off Jeff was that. Where's my daughter? Show me your hands. This is
Yeah.
wow.
And it made Strom the worst character in history in that one film.
I'm not going to deny it. I mean, some of the scenes with Jill were boring. It was good to establish as a character, but some of her scenes were boring. But Strom was terrible. He made up for it in 5. Scott Patterson was brilliant in Saw 5. Probably one of the best protagonists in a long time in Saw. But 4, he was terrible.
Yeah.
And
let's not dwell on too much because we know what we like about Saw 2, and this is getting a bit,
we like Saw 2 because it introduces us to Eric Matthews.
Yeah.
We've got Donnie Wahlberg in a Saw film. Brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah.
As an Amanda fan, I loved it. Set up her as the apprentice. It was great. Cared about the characters. The twists in it were amazing. Amanda being the apprentice, I didn't guess when I first saw it. I didn't think they'd do anything like an apprentice twist. I thought it was just going to be the Daniel Matthews twist, which was still great. You know, he's in a safe place. Who'd have thought that? Really, who would have thought he was even safe? And that it was all VCR. I remember seeing Saw 2 for the first time. We just paused it and realised the house was, pre-recorded. I was like, oh my god!
It was just a brilliant film, and I believe it was originally Darren Bousman. It was supposed to be a Saw film originally. Darren Bousman.
Yeah, he wrote a screenplay, and he said, "No, it's too much like Saw."
So they made it.
Yeah, they teamed him up with Lee Rennell, I think.
Yeah.
And Saw 2 was spawned, and thankfully as well. And he really developed the character of Jigsaw. I think he's great. Some of the speeches he has with Eric.
Yeah.
In the fight scene as well.
Was it really a fight scene, or was it just a beatdown?
Yeah. It's just great. And Saw 2 had some of the best traps. Had the death mask. I loved the needle pit. Darren didn't think that deserved to be on the top 10 list, but not everything could make it.
No, like, Reverse Bear Trap weren't #1, but
I didn't like the spike box trap. I think that's one of the worst in a long time.
Weak,
but on the whole, it was well acted against characters we cared about. It set up a clue about Gordon, didn't answer about him, but it managed to stand on its feet. I think everyone was so impressed with Saw 1, and it was like, well,
how can you top it?
How are they going to even do a sequel with Saw? And they really did it. It was amazing.
It is the best. In our opinion, it is the best film.
I just love the chemistry between Donnie and Tobin. I think the scenes with them two
we
together,
never see again, do we?
Phenomenal. No,
just that film.
It was phenomenal. It really was, and just an all-round good film. I mean, some people give it a lot of flack, and I can't understand why. I mean,
why?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's one of the best. I mean, Saw 1 has a lot of weak moments. I carry on with. Saw 3, some people don't like it, like Darren. Saw 4, enough said. Saw 5, I can understand some of the backlash. We like
it, but it weren't the best. It weren't.
We can understand the backlash.
Yeah. Saw 6 was Return to Form.
Return to Form. So why Saw 2 got some flack, I don't know, but it was just a great scene. Developed Jigsaw, developed Amanda, introduced us to Eric Matthews.
Absolutely.
And the return to the bathroom at the end was great. When Xavier starts cutting his own neck off and Daniel slashes his throat with the saw. It's just
great.
It's great. It is just the best Saw, and it just keeps you going for the whole film. Saw 1, there was some slow moments in it.
Yeah.
But Saw 2, it just keeps you going.
It was it was good pace, and it just knew what it was doing. And
absolutely,
it was probably Darren Bousman's finest film.
Yeah, it's his first feature film, I think.
Mm.
And what a way to come into the industry, and especially the horror industry.
Ironically, isn't it? He's done the best Saw film and the worst Saw film.
Yes, he has. But could that be the change in writing? I don't know. I mean, they did write the brilliant Saw 6, Patrick and Marcus. So, what really made Saw 4 shit? Please let us know.
And what made Saw 2 great?
Yes, we want to hear your thoughts. Do you like Saw 2? If so, why? If not, why not? Same goes to Saw 4. Do you agree with us? Is Saw 2 the best? If not, what should be? Is Saw 4 the worst? If not, what should be? And if you do disagree that Saw 4 isn't the worst, then I will not finish that sentence. So join us tomorrow for our predictions for Saw 3D. Until next time, it's bye-bye from me.
Bye from me.